Hey there guys, what is going on? It is Gale right here. Welcome back to 59 Mobile and welcome back to another Counterside video, and today we're going to be talking all about operators, how to get them, what you should be looking out for on the global version in terms of operators, and just generally a small guide on what you need to be doing with these operators. So let's talk about how to get operators first and foremost. So now there are two ways to get operators in this game right now. The first one is of course via recruitment. In the recruitment tab, you have three tabs: normal, classified, and operator. The operator recruitment is where you get your operators, and it uses the same currency as the normal recruitment tab. Now that's where the issues begin, because in my opinion, and I think a lot of players would agree with me, the summoning currency you have should be focused in on getting more employees and not operators. It just isn't worth it in the long run, especially because you could accumulate a lot more units through the normal recruitment, because you need to prep for the dives and various other bits of content coming to the game in the near future. And as a result, your summoning currency should not be going to the operator recruitment at all. Free-to-play players and dolphins should avoid this at all costs. Now, the other way to get it is what free-to-play players and dolphins should go for, and that is buying operators through the Task Planet Mall. Or I should say the Planet Mall exchange shop with Task Planet points. There we go. I combined the two together there, but that's how you should be getting it, through the Planet Mall with Task Planet points. The amount you need for an operator or to buy an operator is 3,000. Now, that is effectively 30 multis, because one multi gives you 100 Task Planet points. It is expensive, but in all honesty, for the average player, especially a free-to-play or dolphin player, your best bet is through the shop. So save up, go for this. It's way better to buy them than wasting the summon tickets on the operator recruitment, because if I'm not mistaken as well, the operator recruitment rates as well are lower than that of the actual employee recruitment. So you're better off with this 100%. Now let's talk about what operators do. Operators have passive skills and active skills. These two things are meant to support your team. They're basically sort of like the captain of the ship supporting your team, basically, right? And let's talk about the passive skill first. Each operator gets assigned a random passive skill the moment you buy or pull them. The skill starts at level 1, and you can level it up to level 11 by feeding operators with the same skill to your operator. The chance for this is extremely low, however, and it also depends on the rarity of the operator you're using as fodder. So a normal rarity is 8%, rare 15, SR 75, and an SSR is 100%. There are also a list of random passive skills. A couple that I want to mention is some stuff like such as AoE damage resistance, ground damage resistance, increased crit damage, and increased attack speed. These are the four you should be looking for when it comes to actually, having the right operator, basically. For example, AoE damage resistance for PvP and harder content in PvE, it's very much necessary, because a lot of these special and ultimate skills in the game are counted as AoE skills. So this passive basically decreases their damage by 20% at max level. Ground damage resistance as well is great, because a lot of employees are on the ground. So it makes sense. A lot of attacks are on the ground as well. So it makes sense for that to be so good. Increased crit damage is great for damage dealing, which is important for PvE, especially in raids and danger close, right? So it is a very, very beneficial passive skill. This is one you really want if you're going for a PvE operator. Attack speed as well is brilliant, but the problem is its initial skill level at level 1 is really bad, because it's only at 2%, so you need to level it up, and as a result it is far below crit damage in terms of PvE. You can also change the passive skill the operators were assigned, but again, the chance for this is extremely low, and it also requires you sacrificing other operators, similar to leveling the passive. The odds are way lower. Let's talk about it. Normal 8%, rare 15%, so far similar, right? But SR is 38% and SSR is 50%. It's basically half the amount as leveling up a passive skill. And to make things worse, you have to use the same rarity of an operator. So if you want to, change the passive of an SSR, you have to use an SSR operator as well. It is really bad. So it's a risk you're going to have to take, and it's not a really good risk in my opinion, personally. So the passive skills, it's a bit of a tricky situation, or you're just going to have to be a whale to be able to get the right passive and everything for your unit or your operator in this situation. Now let's talk about the active skills. Active skills are a lot better than passive skills in my opinion, because they are fixed and each operator has a different one. For example, Lena increases attack speed and attack by 11% to all allies for 12 seconds. This is very, very great because all you need is just that operator and a specific trigger order which is shown on the screen, because what you need for it to activate is a specific order in which you send your employees. For example, for Lina, all you need is a ranger, sniper, and striker in that specific order. You can see it at the bottom of the image, and it shows what employees you need to deploy for the operator to use this skill. For the one thing to note is that you don't need for it to be back-to-back drops. So for example, it doesn't have to be a ranger, sniper, striker. It can be a ranger into like striker, into sniper, into striker, for example, right? Because what it has is a timer at the bottom, a small timer, and you have to make sure the next unit comes out within that timer. Active skills can also be leveled up, but this time you need to feed dupes of the same operator to level the skill. To max the skill, you need exactly 8 copies, an original and 7 dupes. It's important to know that some operators work extremely well out of the box. You don't need to level it up at all. So some units you don't even need dupes for. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Now let's talk about leveling up operators. This is where you don't need to worry about leveling up operators, because to get their EXP models, there's various methods to do it. For example, you could, use task planet points to buy EXP models for your operators, but it's not worth it because all they do is provide HP, attack, and defense. The skill haste bonus to the ship is already maxed out at level 1 of the operator, so you really don't need that HP, attack, and defense. As a result, don't level up your operators. It's not required, especially for free-to-play players and dolphins. For whales, especially once you're at a higher rank, maybe then, and it's the same thing with even the dupes for the active skills, maybe then do you want to try and maximize your, your team setup and everything, and maybe you want to maximize your operator as a result. But if you're a free-to-play player or a dolphin, really, in the mid-ranks and stuff, I don't think it's required whatsoever. This is the one you've been waiting for, the top 5 operators. Who are the best operators? And let's talk about it, because there's no one best operator. All of them are good in their own right, and let's talk about where they're good in their own right. First and foremost, Kim Hana. Kim Hana is a universal operator that can work in all of PvP and PvE thanks to her easy to use skill trigger order. While she works fine at level 1, giving the DP refund, going from 6% to 20% skill haste at max level can give you a significant boost in danger close and PvP. She's also the best operator for many PvE stages, including endgame PvE stages such as relics and danger close. This makes her a must-have for all players and is the first operator a new player should get. Next up is Lena McKenzie. This is one I have actually. I summoned for her. I will admit I made the mistake and I summoned on the operator recruitment manner. Alright, sue me. But she's a strong PvE operator. Her skill buffs all employees attack and attack speed, but she suffers from one issue. Her skill trigger order isn't too natural, especially for PvP. There's so many times where I'm just there like, I wish it was just like defender, striker, ranger. That would be so good, right? But nope, it's ranger, sniper, striker, which is a little bit trickier to manage, especially in PvP. Also, it should be noted that the crit damage side skill is so strong that if you don't have a crit damage or attack speed Lena, you could choose any other operator with a crit damage side skill and they would probably outdamage your Lena as a result, which is a shame, but that's how it is. Alright, and number 3, we have Serena Cruz. Serena is widely considered the best PvP operator because of her ability to block buffs for a good duration. While this doesn't sound extremely good because buffers aren't commonplace in PvP, a lot of characters' gimmicks are linked to a self-buff. Replacer King's Wind Punches, Veronica and Esteros' Immortality, and Awaken Horizon's Invulnerability are all counted as buffs, and as a result, Serena Cruz effectively removes the entire mechanic from their kits for her duration. To top it all off, she has an easy to use skill trigger. If you're focused on PvP, Serena Cruz is a fantastic option. At number 4, we have Sigma. The non-cancelable shield Sigma provides is great for every team in PvP. Soldiers, counters, mechs, you name it. The shield can't be removed by Serena Cruz nor Na Yubin, Awaken Na Yubin specifically, because it's uncancelable. This makes Sigma a great pick for PvP as well. but be warned that her skill is kind of useless at lower levels, so it is a little bit trickier to use her. And at number 5, it is Serena Crew again. Wait a second, I needed a top 5. All right, guys, listen. I had to have a top 5 somehow. All right, it's way catchier than a top 4. So cut me some slack, boys. All right, but there you have it. There's my top 4. There are other operators that can be decent as well. Like I said, with Lena, if you have a crit damage operator, you could arguably have a better operator right there and then. But in general, when it comes to your top operators, the ones you want to buy using your hard-earned task planet points that you gain via summoning, these are the 4 you want to try and go for primarily. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comment section down below, what do you guys want to see from more Counterside, you know, in terms of like, do you want to see a ship guide, do you want to see a gear guide, or what do you want to see exactly? We'd be glad to give you guys something every week from here on out. And of course, we hope you guys enjoyed the video enough to hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel. It's been Gale Riot, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.